Matt Morris trying to become the second 20-game winner to Kurt Schilling in the National League, and he's got a great chance to do it today. The sun is out, clouds overhead. Looks like a good baseball Sunday, at least for now, downtown. The Cardinals and the Dodgers, deciding game of this series. And we welcome you, Bob Carpenter, Al Roboski, Rich Gould is with us. And Al, I don't think anybody ever sweeps a series between these two clubs. The Cardinals and Dodgers have been so close over the years, and this one has a lot at stake when you really take a close look at that crazy wild card race right now.
Absolutely. It's very important to both ball clubs to win this rubber game of the three-game set. And you can, and I've been around so long, we can remember after 1,800 games between these two franchises that there were at times only one game separating each club. Now the Cardinals have gone on and have won a few more. They have a little bit of a lead now, but they need this one here today, and they've got the right gun. They have their ace in Matt Morris. Matt Morris has just been outstanding. That power sinker is just overpowering National League hitters, an all-star this year. He's second in the National League with his 19 victories, first in home wins and also home ERA. And with a victory here today, he will equal 14 wins at home as John Tudor did back in '95.
The other thing Matt Morris does, 85. He keeps the ball in the ballpark, only 11 home runs all year, and he's approaching 200 innings. Great day for the kids on Pasta House and Coca-Cola Pennant Day at Busch Stadium. Rich Gould is next with young Alan Venice.
Back cool, cloudy day at Busch Stadium. Cardinals and Dodgers meet for the final time. Yesterday's winner joins us, Alan Venice, and isn't it fun to get back up here and contribute in September?
It certainly is. I was hoping all year to get some type of opportunity, and it kind of just fell in my lap. On my regular day was even better for me, and gave me the opportunity to go out and still be on the same schedule that I'd been on, and have a good chance of winning the game.
Most of us have no clue what it takes to get all the way back, how much hard work there is. Alan, can you talk about that for a minute?
Well, you know what? It took me a lot longer than it takes a lot of guys. I had kind of a tough time with the surgeries, and it's been, I guess it's been 4 years since I started a game in the big leagues, and last year thrown out of the bullpen, it had been, I missed about 2.5 or 3 years, and so, it's been a long road, but it's real rewarding when you get the opportunity to come up here and have a game like we had yesterday, and to play with these guys behind you, and the offense is it's terrific.
Another guy with arm surgery, Matt Morris, going for number 20 today.
You know what? I can't say enough about him. It's amazing what he's done this year, and he's a terrific competitor. And he had the Tommy John surgery and came back last year in the bullpen with myself, and he did pretty well last year, and he's kind of strode right in this year and got the job done, and it's been amazing.
Appreciate it, Alan. Well done yesterday.
Thanks a lot.
Matt Morris going for number 20 today. Cardinals and Dodgers starting lineup. The first pitch coming up.
Cardinals and the Dodgers get set for game 3 of the series. Southwest Airlines starting lineup for L.A. Gary Sheffield has a migraine and is not in the lineup today. It's Jeff Rebele, Mark Grizzolonic, and the great Sean Green. Paul Loduca in Sheffield's place, Eric Karros and Adrian Beltre, Marquise Grissom, Chad Kruger, and the pitcher, a young man from Korea, an all-star this year, Chan Ho Park. Matt Morris, first half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup. Al Roboski, what more can we say about Matt that we haven't said in the first 4 or 5 minutes of this telecast?
19-7 speaks volumes for how good he's been. See, just a couple more hits than innings pitched, but that very good strikeout to walk ratio, and a very interesting statistic. He has actually allowed fewer home runs than hit batters. And that is always tells you something. Keeps the ball in the ballpark with that great sinker. He's allowed 11 home runs and hit 12 batters this year.
Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers bring you the Cardinal Around the Horn defense. And we'll start you with Paquette, Polanco, Vina, and McGuire in the infield. Albert Pujols in left, Jim Edmonds in center, and J.D. Drew in right. Mike Matheny will handle Matt Morris today. We're going to take you inside the numbers like Al and I were talking about a few minutes ago. This one is brought to you by Bank of America. The Cardinals are 8 games ahead of the Dodgers all time. Is that amazing?
Yeah, but do you remember
it was one
a couple of years ago? It was, you know, it depended on who won the game as to who stayed in the lead. They were that close after, oh, I guess it probably was more like 1,700 games or 750 games. Darryl Kyle will be looking for the mound tomorrow in Milwaukee. He will take the mound.
And now, you know, he won his 20th game last year on the Cardinals' 4th last game of the season, their last road game, an afternoon game at San Diego. He was 20-game winner on September the 28th, and that is amazing that here on a day when it's roughly 3 weeks earlier, Matt Morris could get his 20. We're a few minutes late and under a cloudy sky. A first pitch fastball at 113. It is 80 degrees at Busch Stadium today. Jeff Rebele, former Minnesota Twin, pretty handy utility man who can play a lot of different positions. And he takes a Matt Morris breaking ball. Doesn't like the call from Paul Schreiber.
Matt Morris just goes right after people. He's got a career high 7-game winning streak. Last outing for Matt was the shutout innings in 7 of them, only 6 hits allowed in San Diego. And as good as that line looks, it was the worst of the 3 pitching performances.
Bud Smith the night before, Woody Williams the night after.
And Woody Williams faced the minimum 27 batters, giving up 2 hits.
There's a fastball, little jam job, and a one-hopper to Polanco. Placido in place of Renteria today, throws out Rebele. That's how the ball game gets underway. Had a nice chat with Bud this morning. I had made a Xerox copy in color of the old scorebook from Monday night. Kind of gave it to him as a keepsake, and he said he appreciated that. And now he is still a little gaga over what happened in San Diego the other night. I hope his head is okay the next time he toes that rubber, but that is really something for a young pitcher to have to deal with.
And that was, you know, the interesting thing was about the 7th inning, you could almost see the mindset of Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa. We're hoping he'd give up a hit.
Get him out of there because of the pitch count.
Pitch count and the fact that, you know, he's getting to the point if he's never pitched this many innings. So he's going to skip a start, and we'll start Thursday in Milwaukee.
And Matt misses with a hard sinker to Mark Grudzielanek. This guy had a nice series against the Cardinals last weekend. And a breaking ball low and away. He's been a very solid player for a while. But he's become even better the last couple of years. He can hit for power, plays a good solid second base.
A career high in home runs this year. And I think the one thing about him is just doubles.
Hit 54 of them in 97. Should be a hit. Not a whole lot Fernando could do. He did everything he could. And Mike Matheny was running down the first baseline along the warning track in front of the Cardinal dugout to make sure a possible errant throw didn't find the dugout.
That was a terrific play by Vina. Just couldn't get much on the throw. That high hopper kind of got him off balance. Then he makes that throw. He sat out yesterday's game, and first time he's challenged here, he gets a real tough play. Does a tremendous job just to get to the ball. Tries to throw it, and didn't have enough on it. Yeah, that was real key the way Matheny always hustling, but if that ball got by McGuire, Matheny would have blocked it.
Fastball is high to Sean Green. A new Dodger record for homers with 46, passing Gary Sheffield last year, who hit 43. And was it the great Duke Snider, the previous Dodger, who had hit 43? Breaking ball low and inside.
Already set franchise records for homers and RBIs from a left-handed batter. And what a tremendous second half he's had.
8 for 12 over his last 3 games. In fact, Sheffield and Green didn't do that much damage to the Cardinals last weekend. It was Eric Karros and Mark Grudzielanek who did most of the RBI hitting for LA. And a foul ball makes the count 2-1.
Sean Green He's hitting .321, 26 homers, 52 RBIs in 54 games since the All-Star break. And we'll graphically show you that.
Man, look at that. Not bad before the break. Unbelievable since. And a 2-1 coming. Breaking ball. That's a strike.
You got to like Paul Schreiber's strike zone. But of course, you got to remember the Dodgers have thrown one of their best in Chan-Ho Park.
Yeah, he's got a wide variety of breaking stuff, doesn't it?
Breaking ball right there. Kind of missed with the location, but Matheny froze it for the umpire, and he got the call.
Jams him. Little pop-up over his pocket. That's as good a job as you can do on Sean Green right there.
Slow, tantalizing breaking balls. And then he gets a fastball and he ties it up. You know, Matt has a tremendous sinking fastball, but there it's a four-seamer. And what you try to do with a lot of left-handed batters, natural low swinging arc. So you're trying to throw it above their hands, tying them up, locking them up, and they really can't do much with a pitch.
Cardinals get a bit of a break today with Sheffield out of the lineup. That does not take away from what Paul Loduca has done this year. He's basically come from nowhere to hit 21 homers and drive in 75. Interesting play for Vina to Polanco. Got him. It helps to improvise. Polanco waiting to see what Fernando could do. Then he got his foot on the bag, and the little guys team up nicely in a scoreless Dodger first. Cardinals are batting .268. Only the Rockies and the Astros have higher National League batting averages. The lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Polanco's at short today, hitting behind Fernando, then J.D. Drew, Albert Pujols, and Jim Edmonds. Mark McGwire in the number 6 hole. Craig Paquette at third. Mike Matheny, the catcher. And it'll be Matt Morris pitching against Chan-Ho Park today. The young Korean, the first man from his country to become an all-star in the major leagues. He's the second half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup.
You see those numbers and look at how many hits he's allowed. 150 in 205 innings. He's going to get his 200 strikeout here today. He's 28 years of age. He was an 18-game winner last year, potential free agent, and his agent is talking in the neighborhood of $100 million.
Yeah, we've heard maybe $20 million a year. Around the horn, the defense brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Paul Loduca, who's normally a catcher, joins Grissom and Green in the outfield. Utility man Jeff Rebele replaces Alex Cora at short. And Chad Kruger, switch inning catcher, veteran, handles the first pitch by Chan-Ho Park. Fernando jacks it to right. This ball is gone. Home run Vina to lead off the game. That's the way you break an 0 for 10. And he adds to his career-high RBI mark, Al, with 48 now.
Well, that's right. And Vina, that is the 6th time he's had a leadoff home run. It's his 5th this year, his 2nd off of Chan-Ho Park, and the first pitch, he launches it. And this is a way how to send a message to a team you're battling in the wild card. Jump out to a lead and keep it.
Here's Polanco. First pitch swinging. Hits it well to right center. And Sean Green gets there with a nice run.
.49 and 22, 50 and 22 look pretty nice when you score first, but
it's a nice percentage.
Long way to go, but that's what you need is to get it out to a lead. Chan-Ho Park does not give up that many home runs. That was only the 19th home run that he has surrendered in 205 innings. He also hits a lot of batters. He's hit 15. They got 2 guys that work inside a lot.
Here's J.D. He takes one low. Kind of a weird glow at the ballpark right now. Sunny skies are disappearing off to the east, and we've got some serious looking clouds.
Didn't rain last night, did it?
We got hammered in St. Louis last night.
Well, we needed it.
Saw some limbs down all over the area.
Yeah, the guys in the truck said they got hammered.
Who's that?
Guys in the truck said they got hammered too.
And the count's 2-1. The wind starting to swirl on the field. Low and inside is Park. Gave that one a hard sinker or even a splitter look. And the skies are looking ominous over Busch Stadium all of a sudden after beautiful sunshine a little while ago. Rain is in the forecast. The flags are going wild right now. JD swings and misses a hard breaking ball. That's had those flags up there, the retired numbers. I've never seen them standing as straight out as they are right now. Wind is blowing over to the right field corner there, and the flags on the roof appear to be blowing out toward the river. Things have gotten strange. 3-2. JD strikes out swinging. Van Mark good enough with that breaking ball. He can work over left-handed batters with it very well.
Chandler has as good a stuff as anybody in the league. That's a good fastball, but he's got an assortment of off-speed pitches, and that's still the way they will work on J.D. Drew. They try to not throw him a fastball.
Albert Pujols is next. High and tight. You can see our camera moving around a little bit out there. The boys are dealing with some windy conditions out there in the bleachers. Outfield is straight away, as the conditions here at Busch Stadium have changed dramatically in the last few minutes. And Albert lays off a tough breaking ball that catches the outside corner.
That big dog out there holding down the center field camera.
If anybody can hold one down, he can.
No, he's not. He's
high home tonight, huh?
Yeah, he used some of his seniority.
Park throwing that fastball to keep it away from Pujols now. Cardinals have hit 175 homers with that blast by Vina. 7th in the league. Dodgers are 2nd. Only the Giants have hit more than L.A. There's our boy, the big dog up behind home. Ball and 2 strikes to Albert, and he takes the fastball way upstairs.
About the year that Albert is setting.
1 RBI now, Al, away from the Cardinal rookie record.
Well, he'll eventually get that, but he's established St. Louis rookie records: home runs, doubles, extra base hits.
He gets jammed and still gets a base hit. There's the strength of Pujols. Not always evident just when he hits the ball out of the ballpark.
It's just remarkable the season he's had, but he fights that pitch off, strong enough to muscle it out, but yet he is not a stubborn hitter. He's a very smart and intelligent hitter, hits the ball where it's pitched.
Jim Edmonds going deep yesterday. He now has 25. Only 10 RBIs away from 100.
And 6 seasons with 25 or more. I was telling Jimmy when we were in L.A., I said, you know, set a goal of 30 home runs. I said, if you get to 30 home runs, you'll probably get your average pretty close to 300, if not, and you're going to get your 100 RBIs.
Yeah, the RBIs take care of themselves. Cardinals scrambling over there with their Sunday caps on. It's a full dugout with a lot of call-ups. Dodgers really didn't make that many moves on their pitching staff. They made a whole bunch as far as position players. Bobby Bonilla next to Mark DeJong. And a full house in that Cardinal dugout. 1-1 coming to Edmonds with Pujols at first, 2 outs.
It's very iffy, kind of questionable. Do you bring up a lot of bodies, or do you bring up too many to where they're a distraction when you're in a pennant chase?
2-1. In the case of San Diego the other day, they did not call up their top prized prospect, Sean Burroughs, because if they do, and then the players go out on strike or there's a lockout, he cannot play next year. They want him playing. So some players stay in the minor leagues for that reason. It is an impending labor situation like this. McGuire's on deck. Edmonds now with a 3-1 count as he laid off that high-tight fastball.
Still very positive, and I don't think there's going to be a labor problem.
I hope you are right, sir. 3-1 with Pujols aboard. He walked him, and here comes Big Mac. Chan-Ho Park has given up a homer, a base hit, and a walk in the first inning. He'll face at least 6 batters, and his pitch count will be well over 20 by the time he walks to the dugout. So McGuire walks in with 2 on, 2 out. And you talk about putting a stamp on a ball game early. A Big Mac line drive, whether it leaves the yard or finds a hole somewhere, could make that statement in a hurry. Mark with 51 runs batted in.
As people want to remember, Fernando Tatis was very nasty to Chan-Ho Park one inning.
2 grand slams in 1 inning. High ball 1. You know that, Al, it can't happen. You can't be pitching well enough to face a guy twice in the same inning with the bases loaded.
And he was on the on-deck circle. If one more batter would have reached, he had the possibility of being up there a 3rd time with the bases loaded.
Right.
Chan-Ho Park, you know, is really one of the best pitchers too. So I mean, it was a shocker that one, it was such a good pitcher that allowed those 2 grand slams, and 2, that, you know, the game stayed close enough to where he still was in it.
1-1 to Mac. Well, we saw some things in San Diego that indicated Mark McGuire's on the way back. Didn't hit into the best of luck. Hit a couple of line drives that were stabbed by infielders. He did get a solo homer on Wednesday night that helped the Cardinals do a 2-0 win. Fans are excited. 2-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball for a strike, and Pujols just back at second.
Wow.
And Albert really takes a lot of unnecessary chances on the bases. Rain starting to fall now. You don't want to get caught off base out and then slip when it starts getting a little wet out there either.
And he got back, but that was very much too close. He was trying to get that secondary lead, but he jumped out there and almost got thrown out. You don't want to get it close enough to where you get caught.
High fastball strikes out McGuire. Cardinals get a run on the Fernando Vina leadoff homer. They strand a couple. Some fans are scrambling for cover. Fernando goes deep, and the Cards lead 1-0.
2 valuables. They'll bring in Luther Hackman, appearing for the 27th time. Got a total of only 27 innings, but he's done a nice job coming out of the bullpen. And previous to this year, he was a starter in the minor leagues. And so Luther will have this opportunity. He'll inherit a 1-0 lead, but there's a lot of baseball left to play as we're in the top of the 2nd.
Fernando Vina has the game's only run. A leadoff homer in the bottom of the 1st inning on the very first pitch by Chan-Ho Park. And from what we can see from the activity lately in the Dodger bullpen, Chan-Ho Park will come out and pitch as long as he can for the Dodgers. So the Cardinals back on the field. The defensive alignment looks the same, with Paquette at 3rd, Polanco at short, Vina at 2nd, and McGuire at 1st. Drew's in right, Jim Edmonds in center, and Albert Pujols in left. Mike Matheny will handle Luther Hackman. For our network stations, as we get everything refired back up here on our Cardinal Network telecast, our next commercial break will be commercial position number 4. Well, the weather's cooled off a little bit. Cloudy skies overhead. And you're looking at Eric Karros, who will lead off the top of the 2nd. Luther Hackman's been warming for a while in the bullpen, but he'll have pretty much whatever time he needs to get ready here as we go to the top of the 2nd. And we'll have a rain delay of 2 hours and 3 or 4 minutes here by the time the next pitch is thrown. As usual, our Busch Stadium ground crew has done a wonderful job getting the tarp on in a hurry, which is their #1 priority, and then they've had to do some repair work. Really not that much on the infield. Cardinals and Brewers, what's on tap, brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Dan and Al. Tomorrow night, Darryl Kyle and Jamie Wright. And it's Woody Williams' schedule on Tuesday, Dustin Hermanson Wednesday, Bud Smith Thursday. But we maybe could see Matt Morris now in that Milwaukee series, since he only pitched 1 inning today. We'll have to wait and see how Tony and Dave Duncan decide to play that for the next couple of days.
That's interesting. But it obviously, at this stage, you know, guys need rest. You know, Vina got a day off yesterday, Renteria here today, and you got to take care of the pitchers too.
First pitch of the second inning is a strike. We had a 2-hour and 4-minute rain delay. Eric Karros in the number 5 spot for the Dodgers hurt the Cardinals with a couple of home runs and a handful of RBIs last weekend. Swings and misses and slips on a breaking ball.
It's one thing that these umpires, the only thing they're really concerned with is the pitcher's mound and home plate. And if they see a batter making a swing like that, they'll be very concerned. And now they're even going to have the grounds crew come out and do a little doctoring at home plate.
Yeah, you can now, as you folks look at the home plate area, you can see in front of home plate, as you get out a few feet in front, there you go. The grass, or excuse me, the dirt is a little darker. The lighter color is the turfus compound that they mix in with the dirt. It's got some sand and some other things to it, and it soaks up the moisture. But evidently, in that batter's box, as Eric Karros was planting for his swing, he took a pretty good slip. And now you're talking about guys making a lot of money who could seriously hurt themselves on a swing and a miss. I mean, they could hurt their legs, their knees, their shoulders, their elbows. Well, so they're going to have Luther Hackman play a little catch with Paquette while we get the ground crew back out here to do a little repair work on the home plate area.
Well, what they'll probably do is they'll scrape off some of that extra surface dirt and try to get the footing a little more solid. And they pay so much attention in covering home plate, pitcher's mound, concerned about the base paths, but they really don't ever worry about the outfielders.
Now here it comes. They have a little storage shed right behind home plate. Those of you who've ever sat in the club seats, as you go down the tunnel from the Cardinals club past the umpire's room, there's a little door on the right, and underneath the stands, they keep some supplies in there that the ground crew can use. It's right down under that Budweiser sign and down that chute. They keep some of the on-deck circles in there and other implements of ground crew work that are helpful in the home plate area, and mainly the ground crew. The guys sit out beyond the right field fence, as most of them are sitting out there right now watching, and they'll try to pack that dirt down so that there's no slippage in the home plate area when the Cardinals or Dodgers take their swing, and there's the rest of the ground crew out there in right field.
Laughing at the guys that have to work right now.
There's about 15 guys on the crew, and Al, during this time the warning track can be very treacherous. They did put some out on the area in right center where it gets very, very wet. But there's a patch in left center to the left of the 372 mark that appears to be very wet, where none of that compound has been dropped. And this is a dirt warning track, which most of the players prefer to that rubber warning track we saw at Dodger Stadium last weekend. I mean, they got a beautiful field in LA, and then they've got this awful warning track that's rubber compound like the old AstroTurf fields used to have, and players absolutely hate it because the ball bounces like a super ball off that thing, and if it gets wet, you can really be in trouble.
It's slippery and everything else, but it's just not a natural surface, and obviously it's not, even though it's rubberized.
So after a 4-minute one-pitch delay, we're ready to go again.
Yeah, the dirt surface is usually much to the player's liking.
A lot of Cardinal fans have stuck around. They were entertained on the scoreboard for a while by the Cub game. It's also raining in Chicago, with Atlanta leading 9-4 after 3.5 innings. Cardinals aren't getting any help from the Brew Crew. Astros got 4 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th, and lead Milwaukee at home 6-0 as the Brewers bat in the top of the 8th at Enron Field. That's where we will head tomorrow, Milwaukee that is, to Miller Park and play 4 against the Brewers. Night games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, day game Thursday. Eric Karros is ready. Luther Hackman is ready, and the count will be 0-2, and we get set.
After today, when the Central Division is playing all the remaining games in the division.
Pretty good breaking ball by Luther Hackman.
It's that big breaking ball. Starts it kind of in the middle half, breaks a little bit away and down, and Karros is the strikeout victim. So good start for Luther.
And if you're Dave Duncan, you hate to see your pitching staff go 2 hours between outs. But in this case, there was a reason for that. And after the rain delay, it'll be Karros striking out and Adrian Beltre stepping in. Marquise Grissom to follow. And Luther misses low and away ball one with another breaking ball. Adrian Beltre has a 14-game hitting streak, but he has only 17 base hits during that time. So his batting average during a long hitting streak is under 300 during that time. And he flies one to left. Albert finds it, drifts back, short of the track, and he's got it for the second out. Well, we'll see if Luther can come up with a 1-2-3 here as he takes on Marquise Grissom. Marquise Grissom, a different kind of player, Al, now than he was earlier in his career. He used to bat for much higher average and basically less power. Now he's batting for low average and driving the ball in that number 7 hole.
Yeah, look at the 20 home runs for Grissom, and he told me out in L.A. that he's finally healthy. I don't think the Brewers ever saw a healthy Grissom. Exchange for center fielders. Devon White went to Milwaukee, and Marquise came to Los Angeles. The average is down, but like I said, those power numbers are pretty impressive.
Marquise Grissom, a man with well over 400 career stolen bases. And the fastball by Luther Heckman misses low, 2-0. We've got some ball games that are over already, but there's rain everywhere from here to Detroit. They're also delayed by rain there as Toronto plays the Tigers. And we hear, Al, that Al Raboski, Mr. Meteorology himself, reported there may be rain in Milwaukee for the next day or so. So we could run into some of this weather tomorrow.
Yeah, but we don't have to worry about it with a retractable dome.
Close that roof and let's have at it. Rio pitch. High and tight, a 4-pitch walk. Dodgers with their second base runner of the day. Mark Grudzielanek had a base hit up the middle back in the first. And it'll be Chad Kreuter, the switch hitting catcher, with 2 out, 1 on. Chad Kreuter's an interesting guy. Former Texas Ranger, Detroit Tiger, played for Seattle, the White Sox, the Angels again with the White Sox, the Angels again, the Royals, and now the Dodgers. And he had a terribly shattered shoulder in 1996 that nearly ruined his career. Big time collision. He has $40,000 worth of plates and screws in that shoulder of his. Major surgery. There was one situation with Chad where it was considered life-threatening for a while because of his circulation and everything. Then they thought he'd never play baseball again. 5 years later, here he is. Long look by Hackman, then a step off. Marquise Grissom on the season with only 6 stolen bases in 10 attempts. With a .228 batting average, his running game is not anywhere near what it could be. The 0-1 runner started and stopped. That's why Matheny fakes a throw, and Mike, as he did his little shuffle to face first base, was looking down at some of the footing there as well.
Catch and throw kind of guy, right? Switch hitter.
Uh-huh.
Never really hit for a high average, but closed in on about 1,000 games.
1-1 pitch to Kreuter. Drives it on a hop to Vina. He'll go the long way to McGuire, and the Dodgers are gone in the top of the second. Paul Schreiber, the home plate umpire, he may need one of those little depressors to get the mud out of his cleats. Tough day so far. Be the first in your neighborhood to know the latest Cardinal news. Log on to STLCardinals.com. It's the official source for Cardinals news. Connect with it, STLCardinals.com. Ticket information, schedules, stats. And Chan Ho Park will come out and take on the Cardinals after he gave up the Vina homer, a base hit, a walk, and struck out 2 in a long first inning for him. We'll have Al talk more about Park in a moment. There's a fan who likes Steve Klein. Check out the cap. AutoZone division standings. Cubs and the Cards are 5.5 back of Houston. And if today's results hold up, the Cards still will be, and the Cubs will be a game back. Wild card race, the Redbirds are right in it. A big game with the Dodgers. The Giants are at Colorado with Jason Schmidt and Scott Ellerton throwing. And that ball game is well underway. 3-1, now 4-1 Giants after 4.5. Greg Paquette with a base hit. It's going to be a wet ball in the outfield today. Loduca picks it up. Paul Loduca playing left field today. And an interesting play for a guy who's usually a catcher as the bottom of the second gets underway.
Paul Loduca, a good hitter. Talking about good hitters. What a year that Paquette's putting together, particularly when he had very limited playing time the first couple months of the season. If that breaking ball hooks it down the left field, Loduca, because of his bat, they have him playing all over the place, from the corners of the outfield to first to behind the plate and hitting 330 plus.
Greg Paquette with that base hit will be around 275. And he's almost 40 points above his career batting average. Will make it 276 exactly. And a strike to Mike Matheny, who figured large into a Cardinal rally yesterday that helped them to the 6-5 win. On a hit and run, Matheny rammed one into the gap. Short lead by Paquette, and a fastball drifts high. That evens the count.
Bob, you think about it a little bit. The Cardinals took the option of Matt after the 2-hour plus rain delay. A lot of people think, you know, it's iffy. Anything over an hour, questionable, an hour and a half. And as I said, some of the stated reasons for Matt, it was probably a good decision to not let him pitch.
And this inning, or maybe next, could tell the tale on Jim Tracy's decision on Chan-Ho Park. He had a long first inning, threw well over 20 pitches, giving up a homer, a single, 2 walks, and the 2 of the 3 men he retired were on strikeouts. Matheny in the batter's box. Luther Heckman on deck. And a ground ball fouled right by the bag at first. Luther, I guess, having a hard time deciding what bat to use. Came out to the on-deck circle, walked back to the dugout. They exchanged bats with him. And he's waiting to hit behind Matheny here in the bottom of the second. How many hacks has Luther had this year? He is 0 for 1. Good job by Matheny of laying off a tough pitch on 1 and 2. Lately, Mike has been susceptible to breaking stuff away from right-handed pitchers. Like that. Chan-Ho Park with his 3rd strikeout of the day. And now we'll see Hackman. And he could be bunting with 1 out.
It's the 200th strikeout of the season for Chan-Ho Park. And Mike not happy with himself as he goes after a pitch that never was in the strike zone. He's an outstanding pitcher, and now career 167 for Luther. Spend a little more time with relievers going over those signs.
He does have 1 sacrifice bunt this year. And as mentioned, Al, you know, putting the ball down here, not a bad idea. If you swing away, you might hit into a double play. But if you can bunt the runner over, it's almost a guarantee you will score on a base hit to the outfield on a wet day like this. Very difficult for an outfielder to pick up a wet ball and then throw it on target to home plate.
Well, not only that, Bob, but you also have to be very cautious. You cannot be overly aggressive on a ball. So you're kind of out there running in, you know, in your own footsteps.
Luther backs away 2-0. Of course, the one thing Park doesn't want to do is walk him. I mean, the guy's trying to make an out, so you throw strikes.
trying to sacrifice, and first two deliveries from Chan Ho are not anywhere near the strike zone. We've seen so many times with maybe one of the regular starters in this situation where you take the bunt off and maybe put the run and hit on.
Edmond bunts right through it, and the count's 2-1.
But you do that with the starters, not somebody as a reliever that doesn't have the experience. You see really bad form, jabbing at the ball, not letting the ball come. I think probably one of the simplest explanations is that bat should be like your glove and just catch the ball, the pitch ball, with the bat as if it was your glove.
Well, he bumps that one nicely to the right side. It'll be Karros to Grzelcyk. Sacrifice is good. 3-4. And down to second base, Craig Paquette.
This time it wasn't as much movement, and the ball was a strike, and so he was able to place it, got it by the pitcher, but Karros fields it, throws it to Grzelcyk.
Well, Fernando Vina could add to his career high RBI total. He has 48 now. Outfield around to the left, big gap in right center. And a breaking ball drops right in. Chan Ho wasn't going to throw Fernando another first pitch fastball right down the middle. Vina hit it 361 feet over the wall in right. Fernando's 5th of the year. And a line drive, base hit. Here comes Paquette. Without a play, the Cardinals lead 2-0. The sacrifice was good. The base hit was perfect.
That's what we talked about. Any kind of base hit to the outfield, the outfielders are going to have to be very careful coming in on a ball. Don't let it get by them. They're kind of running in a fog. And Paquette, even though it looked like he almost started to slip going around third, he comes home, and Fernando Vina's got both RBIs. Now up to 49.
Some days it's the little guys. Fernando had a day off yesterday. Looks refreshed. He's aboard with Polanco in there. And Cardinals may not be done with this inning yet. Could be some running here. If you send Vina, and Polanco gets a base hit and the ball's wet, Fernando might score. If you lose him at second, you've still got Polanco leading off the third. He's holding. Good breaking ball from Chan Ho Park. Bunch of ball games over. Yankees beat the Red Sox again 7-2, and Boston is 13 games out of first place.
You and I were talking about that situation.
Oh, Polanco on a ball that almost went behind him, didn't know which way to turn.
Well, I told you that Chan Ho coming into this game has allowed 18 home runs. Now he just plunks his 16th batter. And in this scenario, I think you're seeing what happens to a starter after they sit around for 2 hours. Doesn't have the command. Just, you know, he has a tendency to hit guys anyway because he pitches inside. Now, I mean that as a positive. Pointed out the same thing with Matt Morris. 11 home runs issued and has hit 12 batters.
Boy, JD could really make it hurt here. Park struck him out on a breaking ball first time up. He goes high inside, ball one. Getting back to the Boston situation, Al and I were discussing that earlier. A lot of fans in Boston and the players wanted Jimmy Williams fired. Al, you got to be careful what you wish for when you dump your manager in a pennant race, and look what has happened to the Red Sox.
But they lost something like 11 out of the last 12.
And they are done. In fact, the American League stat sheet now, the standings page, lists only one team in the wild card race, and that's Oakland.
Yeah, because they're like 11, 10 and a half or so behind Oakland now.
Yeah. A team 17 games out of first is alone in the AL wild card. 2-0 to J.D. Drew. He hits one out to center. It's hanging up for Marquise Grissom, and the Cardinals will leave a couple. They will score on a couple of singles. There was a sacrifice, and the Redbirds, after 2, lead the Dodgers now 2-0. Vina the RBIs.
Cardinals lead 2-0 thanks to Fernando Vina, who homered 2 hours ago, and just a few minutes ago drove in a run with a base hit. General Manager Walt Jocketty joins us. Walt, let's talk first about the decision not to throw Matt Morris after the rain delay. We were all anxious to see Matt go after his 20th win. That was the buzz of the ballpark. You talked to Tony, and what was said?
Well, I think that it was a tough decision, and Matt obviously wasn't happy with it because he wanted to go back and pitch. But when you sit for 2 hours, and he did things to keep his arm warm and things like that, but he's just too valuable property for us and too big important to our organization to put him out there after 2 hours. Now the Dodgers brought Janho Park back, which surprised me a little bit, especially when he's going on 3 days rest. But so I think, and it's tough because we're going to use a lot of our bullpen today. But it's a smart thing to do to keep Matt, take him out, and we'll keep him in his regular day. I think right now we're still planning to pitch him Friday against Houston.
It's tough because you used everybody yesterday. Right?
Yeah, we used a lot of guys yesterday, but Luther's capable of pitching a lot of innings because he has been a starter. So we've got Luther, we got Mike Matthews, we got T.J. Matthews, we got some guys out there and give us some innings.
Mathematically, of course, the Cardinals still in it in terms of catching Houston. Realistically, it looks like you're going to have to win a wild card spot. Where do you stand on the wild card position? I would think St. Louis fans this year absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love it. No, it's I think it's been an interesting concept because it is tough when, especially for all those years they had in the National League East, where you had two teams that the Braves were always dominating, but the second place club had a lot of wins, probably more wins than some of the other division winners. And now we've got an opportunity to be in that race, and hopefully if we don't win our division, which we still could do, we can maybe get in as a wild card. And the Mets were the wild card last year. They got the World Series. 97. The Marlins did it and won the World Series. So we'll take it any way we can get it.
It makes scoreboard watching interesting, doesn't it? Because now you got to pay attention to what the Giants are doing. We've got the Dodgers today. What the Cubs are doing. Really, the Philadelphia-Atlanta series is still up in the air.
It'll be very confusing, but the main thing is we just got to win. We've got after today we've got 20 games left, and we just got to try and keep winning as much as we can to secure a spot in that wild card race, but also still chase Houston. We're 5.5 behind them with 6 games to play with them. So I like our chances.
Am I right? Is it George Kissel's birthday today?
It is George Kissel's 81st.
Wow, I'll bet we'll get him on later on, guys. Thank you, Walt.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Walt. Luther Hackman doing a good job right now. Struck out Janho Park. He's 2-2 on Jeff Rebele, the shortstop, who led off for the Dodgers today. Mark Grudzielanek on deck. Sun trying to peek through here in the top of the third after a 2-hour, 4-minute rain delay. Low, ball 3. Three-two delivery. And a ball rocked hard into the corner. Just past the 4 o'clock hour here in St. Louis. You're watching Cardinal Baseball on KPLR TV St. Louis. WB11, your Cardinal Network flagship station. It's always great when we have Rich with us. He can go get some information for us on a rain delay situation or anything else that pops up around the ballpark that we may not have access to here in the booth. 3-2. Line drive. That is a fair ball. Tough play for J.D. on a wet track in the corner. Comes up with it and just throws a strike to Vina. On a day like today, the outfielders have to keep it basic, Al. Pick up the ball and make sure you hit the cutoff man.
Yeah, you really have to be a little conservative with your approach. You can't be overly aggressive. And then you've got to be very cautious when you do pick it up. Make sure you have a good solid grip on it before you throw it. It's going to be wet. It's going to be muddy, and footing is a little treacherous. The runner also has that play in front of you. You can know where he's going to go. Because he's running there. He doesn't know. Third base coaches aren't for Jeff. He knows it all.
Yep. There's a strike to Grzelcyk. Looked like Matheny was asking for that ball a little bit further outside. Luther got the called strike. Grzelcyk with a base hit first time up on a ball fielded behind second by Fernando Vina. And he misses with the fastball. Still raining in Chicago as far as we know. 9-4 Braves over the Cubs after 3.5. And they're moving right along in Houston. In fact, that game now a final. Astros got 2 more in the 8th, and they beat Milwaukee 8-0. Nobody in our division has been able to beat Houston lately. A big curveball foul back. That's their 84th win of the year.
Houston has a very tough schedule, though, the rest of the way. They have 6 games with the Cardinals, 6 games with San Francisco, and 7 games with the Cubs. If those Cubs continue to slide and knock themselves out of the wild card, they're going to be even tougher facing them those last 4 games.
While the Cardinals are playing the Pirates. Luther having a hard time getting his fastball over. He misses low. 2-2. Tough hitter on deck in Sean Green. Cardinals lead 2-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Out to short. Ball's in front of the runner, so he retreats. And Polanco throws out Grzelcyk. 2 outs. Sean Green coming up. And if you love laughing, which all of us on the Cardinal Network absolutely adore, join WB11 weeknights for one of the most funny and outstanding shows on television. Everybody Loves Raymond. It begins September 24th at 6:30 and 9:30 on WB11 for our St. Louis audience. Sean Green fouled out first time up, and Luther goes low and away, ball 1. Matt Morris jammed him big time, and he hit a little pop fly over on the left side. Green still 8 for his last 13 at the plate, and Al told you about the second half terror he has been on. Backdoor breaking ball. Now first base is open. 2-0 lead. You're crazy if you give in to this guy and throw him a fastball down the middle. Better to walk him and take your chances with Paul Lo Duca.
And I'm sure that's what Mike is going out there to tell Luther. He's like, hey, you're falling behind. Don't give in to him. You walk him, you have first base open, you got 2 outs, just get the next guy. But don't make a careless pitch and allow him to hurt you.
Yeah, giving in may equal a ball getting out. You groove one to this guy who's hit 46 homers already, and we'll have a tie game. Way outside, ball 3. And that's all right. If you're Jim Tracy, you give him the green light here just in case.
Give him the green light, but you just say be disciplined.
Target away. Cardinals will nibble here and miss outside for a pitch walk. Now you take on the right-hander Paul Lo Duca, who is not Gary Sheffield in the number 4 spot. If you just joined us and you weren't here for the first inning 2.5 hours ago, wondering where Gary Sheffield is, well, he's here. He's been suffering from a migraine and not in the lineup today.
Unconfirmed report is the migraine started when he started looking at his patent leather shoes. Baseball shoes.
Is that right?
It's not. We'll may get rich on that story.
Well, I'm dying to hear more. You've scooped us all here.
Well, the talk, you know, I mean, his baseball shoes are very unusual.
Yeah.
An unconfirmed report is that's where the migraine started.
I see.
I mean, look down at it.
Backup breaking ball stays inside. Sometimes I'm a little skeptical of unconfirmed reports. Anonymous sources tell us an unnamed club official said. Two on, 2 out. Tying runs on first base here in the 3rd. And a little chopper as Luther had the right-handed batter reaching. Crowd is subdued here. They've been hanging out for a long time. A lot of them went up at the top of the field boxes. The concourse down there is covered. A lot of folks in the loge level peeked up under the press box, and those upstairs under the roof, and enjoyed some good video on the board today. We saw the All-Century team here on WB11. We saw the great show about shortstops, Ozzie and all the guys. Hope you enjoyed all of that, but we wanted live baseball. Now we've got it. There's a foul ball. Do we have Gary Sheffield's shoes? Gosh, Al, I'm starting to feel this pain in my temple looking at those.
Pretty.
I'm not feeling so well.
Migraine-ish, huh?
Yeah, migraine-ish.
Don't have to polish them.
All of a sudden, I'm not feeling so well. 2-2. Hackman doesn't miss by much. A little bit low, maybe. A little bit off the plate. And the count goes full. The Dodgers get the advantage now, starting those runners with 2 outs.
That's a perfect little bat for LaDuca, a guy that has 21 home runs, never had more than 7 in the minor leagues.
But he always hit 300.
Always hit 300, and he has only 27 strikeouts on the year.
3-2 pitch. There they go. Up and in. Bases loaded. And now you've got to deal with Eric Karros. So that walk, not a good idea after the previous one that was not a bad idea. And Dave Duncan will visit his pitcher and his catcher.
Third walk already, and of course Karros, who has hurt the Cardinals when they were out in Los Angeles. He's 2 for 8 in this series. As TJ gets loose up there, but because of the 3 walks, you know, that situation where Dave Duncan was hoping that he could get several innings out of Luther. Now you've got his pitch count moving up there.
And he's walked 3, struck out 2. So of the 5 outs he's gotten, he had to go a bunch of pitches to get 2 of them. Rebelace at third, Green at second, LaDuca is at first. Good speed at second base with a tying run. And Hackman against Eric Karros. High ball 1.
Struck him out, the first batter he faced when Luther came, started the second inning after the 2-hour, 4-minute rain delay. 2 grand slams, 368 average. But he has been suffering from a bad back, and his numbers are way down.
That swing he took right out of the rain delay when his feet slipped couldn't have made him feel too great either. Now the Cardinals have a problem. Breaking ball misses, 2-0. Now you can't really try to throw the perfect strike because you go 3-0. Now you've got to throw what may be a hittable strike. You still have 2 outs here and a chance to get out of this inning. That's low, ball 3. Rebelay a 1-out double with 2 outs. Green a walk, LaDuca walked, and now Eric Karros 3-0. That's low. 3 consecutive walks, and the Dodgers are on the board. Cardinals have activity in the bullpen. Not what they wanted here.
Go, come on.
And now the tying runs at third base.
Third baseman, Adrian Beltre.
And working about as quick as he possibly can in the Cardinal bullpen is T.J. Matthews.
And he's coming in. Tony made this track a few times yesterday, didn't he?
Boy, did he. 4 walks for Hackman, 2 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3. He only gave up 1 hit, but he's walked his way out of this game, and the Cardinals now will call on T.J. Matthews to get some outs. When we bring you back to Busch, it'll be a run home, bases loaded, 2 outs, and the Cardinal lead down to 2-1. Tony La Russa waiting for T.J. to arrive at the mound. And the Cardinal defense doing a lot of standing around here in the third inning. Here comes TJ. Dodgers have the sacks juiced. We're back shortly.
Welcome back to St. Louis, as the Cardinals still have a 2-1 lead, but Tony La Russa not feeling good about the situation. Matt Morris started this game, went only 1 inning, had a 2-hour and 4-minute rain delay, decided, and I think wisely, not to risk injury, take him out of there. Luther Hackman pitched the second inning, walked 1 man in that inning, and he got the first man out in the third. A double came around on the 4th walk, and now Hackman is out. TJ Matthews is in. This is only his 5th appearance. No record, no ERA. He's pitched very well, but it's been a while.
Everybody on base has walked. Adrian Beltre flied to Pujols in left first time up. Looks like they've resumed in Chicago. Cubs did not score bottom of the 4th. That's good news. 9-4 Atlanta. And the first one from TJ. That's a breaking ball low. He's basically a fastball slider pitcher. And the Cardinal fans who waited around during a 2-hour rain delay feeling like they didn't wait around for this to watch the Dodgers walk all over the place. There's a swing and a miss on a good breaking ball.
TJ doesn't throw as hard as he used to, but still has a good presence on the mound. Not going to be afraid. He'll go after guys and usually throw strikes.
Another breaking ball. That was nasty. Now he's got Beltre wondering if he'll ever see a fastball during this at bat. There's TJ's previous experience with the Cardinals with Eric Ludwig and Blake Stein. One of the 3 pitchers traded to the Oakland Athletics July 31st of '97 for Mark McGwire.
That was great because TJ still maintained the house right here in the St. Louis area.
Low and away. Yeah, he told me he and Kelly tried to sell it on several occasions. It never worked out. Now he's right back in it.
Danny, with that Gold Glove caliber defense, very good at blocking that ball in the dirt and saving a run right there. He knows how to block those balls, and you don't do it with a glove, you do it with the body.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Don't want to go full here. Fly ball left field near the line. Pujols coming in for it. He will get there, and the Cardinals are out of the inning. Outstanding job by TJ Matthews, keeping it a 1-run Dodger third, and the Cardinals still on top. Hey, you can be the Southwest Airlines family of the game. It's getting late in the season, so get your postcard in. Your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines family of the game. P.O. Box 771192, St. Louis 63177. Good luck. After today, the Cardinals only have 8 home games remaining, and we're told they decided again to pitch to Barry Bonds today, and he just hit number 62 at Coors Field. Giants in that game led the Rockies 4-1. Rockies got a run in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Now the Rocks bat bottom 7. That game is all tied up. That's good news. We'll let Barry have his home run today. If the Rockies can take care of those Giants, the Cardinals could be tied for the top of the wild card standings by the end of this day. Albert leads off, bottom of the 3rd. He's got a base hit, and he's batting .334. That's in the top 3 in the National League. Coming into this day, Lance Berkman of Houston and Luis Gonzalez of Arizona tied with Pujols at .333.
You know, Bob, sometimes we talk about pitchers not being able to pitch around people, or that they pitch to people. I think it's more the case that they just don't have the ability to know how to pitch around guys.
What would be your definition of pitching around a guy? Is that obviously we know what that is in itself, but it doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't do the job after that, right?
Well, I think what I'm saying is that they're instructed, don't let this guy beat you, you know, and they don't want to just purposely take the ball out, or bat out of his hands and intentionally walk him, but you sit there and say, okay, don't groove a pitch to him, pitch around him, make him expand his zone and get himself out. And they make careless mistakes in the strike zone.
And in Luther's case, that last half inning, well, he and the Cardinals probably did pitch around Sean Green, but then he couldn't get it back. Walking Loduca and Karros, a pair of right-handed batters, and really not even coming close to retiring either one of them.
During the rain delay, I was talking with Bob Watson, former general manager of Houston.
He had a very good major league hitter. Albert caught looking.
Outstanding hitter. And he took young Mike Hampton and Billy Wagner and had a guy named Koufax talk to him. There's that breaking ball that froze Albert. He knew he was out. That is the fourth strikeout for Chan-Ho Park. And he told these guys, and both of them admitted they didn't know who he was. Oh. That's a shame, but they sit there and he goes, you know, I never was the pitcher. I was wild, and I never became the pitcher that people know me for until I tried to let people hit the ball.
And
then when I basically said, hey, here, I'm going to challenge you with my good stuff in the strike zone. And he said that's when he started becoming no-hitters and doing, you know, and became the Hall of Fame pitcher. Before that, he was just a wild kid.
1-0 to Jim Edmonds, who walked his first time, and he takes it outside.
Of course, in his case, he could throw the ball down the middle of the plate, and it was unhittable.
Right. Sandy Koufax had a great fastball, and against left-handed batters, he had a devastating overhand curveball. The 2-0 delivery. That's a low strike. I've never really heard this comparison, Al, but as I think about the times I saw as a kid Sandy pitch against the Cardinals, both at the old ballpark and here, when you think about his pitching motion, he wasn't that far off from being a left-handed Juan Marichal. There's Edmonds with a broken bat, and it's caught by Jeff Rebelin. And I'm talking about the way Sandy Koufax would rock way back. He didn't have the high leg kick like Marichal, but he came straight over the top. And I mean, those guys were just really difficult to even see the ball.
Speaking of seeing the ball, you know, there's a lot of people that want to help Mark McGwire and do an awful lot of things.
Is he hearing from optometrists now?
Well,
or would be ones?
I just heard from someone that was, you know, a fan that's concerned and saying that he's squinting, he's doing this, doing that. Is he seeing the ball? He's just picked up so many bad habits. You know, he had Bob Watson. We just talked about. Bob Watson was Mark McGwire's hitting coach in Double-A when he and Canseco were coming through there.
Huntsville, Alabama.
And they had a long talk yesterday. And Bob Watson said, how's your foundation? He says, I don't have one. And he said, I'm just going to have to suffer through this year. I'll go back this offseason, really work on some things, forget all the bad habits that I picked up and trying to compensate for my bad play.
Good eye by Mark, and the count goes to 3-1.
The only thing that in my problem with Mark right now is he's gotten away from a lot of the mental things that he did to make himself a good hitter. He's almost like surrendered to his frustrations.
Chan-Ho Park chooses not to challenge. And McGwire aboard with 2 outs. That'll bring up Craig Paquette, swinging a great bat. Now has his batting average up to 276. Hey, before it gets too late in the day, birthday wishes and some well wishes to pass along. Kelsey Hayes celebrating her 12th birthday today. Born September 9th of 1989. Happy birthday, Kelsey. And Paquette fouls one off to the right side. Debbie Boney, the only person to go on every Cardinal cruise with Al Raboski.
Debbie Boney
wants to wish her mom Dolores a happy 80th today.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're sitting in North Dakota in about minus 20 degrees.
Hooping it up.
Debbie and Mom Dolores, we're going to be on that cruise. Jack Buck's going. Gary Robinson. Mike Matheny.
Wow.
Walt Jocketty.
Wow.
David Pratt, one of our owners.
You're going to land his jet on that
Redbird,
thing?
Marty Hendon, the Beendam, Altair Travel. Oh, outstanding. And you're, what, minus 20? Think it'll get that high that day?
I've never been to the Dakotas. I've been to Wyoming. There are 5 states I haven't been to, Al. The Dakotas, Montana, Idaho, and Montana.
You know, I've been on that cruise so many times. I don't think there's 5 islands I haven't been to.
Well, I guess 4 states I haven't been to. I got Alaska last year while you were on the cruise. Here's the 1-2 to Craig. They're playing behind McGuire, as they should. And a swing and a miss at a high breaking ball. Cardinals strand their 5th runner of the day. Interesting ball game. It's going to take a while to get this one in the book. 2-1 Birds. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Steak and Shake. It's famous for steak burgers, and wouldn't a double be good right about now? And by Hyundai dealers, where driving is believing. Let's drive one at your local Hyundai dealer this week. Old Man River rolls by the Mississippi by the Gateway Arch. Beautiful day. Pasta House Company and Coca-Cola teamed up for 15,000 Darryl Kyle pennants for the kids today. Guy's got 2 of them. He's taking care of his little brother's pennant for him. We go top of the 4th. Grissom, Kruger, and Chan Ho Park. And it'll be interesting to see how long Chan Ho can pitch in this game. Marquise Grissom walked. First time up. T.J. Matthews with a good-looking pitch, but it's ball 1. Wonder where that one is. There's Matt. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 hit. And we'll have to wait till next time for that 20th win.
We'll come back here at home, his next outing on Friday. 4-game road trip.
4-game road trip to Milwaukee. Right back here next Friday with the Houston Astros.
Boy, that's going to be some fun time.
Yes, sir. Then Milwaukee in for 3. Paquette throws out Marquise Grissom. That's how the top of the 4th gets underway. If you're wondering what's going on in Chicago, the Braves did not score in the top of the 5th. They lead the Cubs 9-4. Mets, who have won 6 in a row. They're only 7 back of Atlanta. They lead at Florida 1-0 after 3.5. Giants Rockies in the 8th now tied at 4. Phillies beat Montreal 12-4 on the road. Reds won at Pittsburgh 5-3. We told you Houston shut out Milwaukee 8-0. And that was behind Roy Oswalt, who goes to 14-2 with that win today. Arizona got 2 in the 2nd at home. They lead the Padres 2-0. And at last report, the Rams are ahead 13-3 at Philadelphia. Looks like they just scored and kicked the extra point, so it's 14-3 for the Rams. Attaboy. Low and inside to Chad Cruder. And the count's 2-0. T.J. Matthews doused a dangerous fire about to spread last inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. He got Adrian Beltre to fly out. Now he's retired Grissom. And a ground ball to short. Right there is Polanco. And this is a situation now where we've got a lot of baseball left. But say the Cardinals go on to win this game. Luther Hackman does not necessarily get the win. The official scorer, it is his discretion on who pitched well enough to get the win. And if TJ would mow down 7 or 8 batters here and pitch 2 or 3 innings, the scorer could go ahead and give him the W if the Cardinals win this game.
Yeah, we all know the starter has to go 5 in order to qualify for a win. But if there is a scenario like with you, team has a lead, the starter does not go 5, and as you mentioned, the official scorer can dictate who had the most the best outing and give the win to that reliever.
Well, TJ, the pitcher up now, should be able to get the Cardinals into the 5th inning. Chan Ho Park struck out against Hackman first time up. Can't stop his swing, and he's gone. TJ has retired 4 in a row, and he may get himself in line for that W a little later. Some more offense would help. Matheny, Matthews, and Vina coming up. Brought to you by the great folks at Schnucks. 12 of the final 13. Nolan Ryan beat the Giants. That's when he was pitching for Houston. Got number 4,500. And then 500 strikeouts later, Nolan Ryan pitching for the Texas Rangers strikes out Ricky Henderson.
Oh, you don't
Hey, guess who that catcher was?
Kruger?
Chad Kruger.
Hey, you don't think it was a little extra incentive to make Ricky Henderson be the 5,000 strikeout?
Oh, sure. As far as we know, Al, after that strikeout, Nolan did not walk up to Ricky and say, I am the greatest. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Mike Matheny.
Isn't it amazing that how many people from St. Louis or Cardinal fans resent Ricky Henderson so much for that one simple statement? Was Lou Brock gracious enough to travel for a week waiting for that stolen base to break his record?
I'm just surprised that in that case, Ricky spoke in the first person. He usually says, Ricky is the greatest. He talks about himself as if it's an out-of-body experience. Mike Matheny again completely overmatched on that outside breaking ball from a right-handed batter.
Tell everybody, because it's such a good story about John Olerud and Ricky Henderson's story.
Olerud and Henderson?
Yeah. Did you remember that?
Refresh my memory, and I'm sure it'll come to me.
Ricky saw John wearing a batting helmet. And he said, hey, man, why do you wear the batting helmet? Pick it up from there. You know it now, right?
You know what? I know I've heard this story. You're going to have to finish it for me.
He said, hey, dude, you know, why do you wear that batting helmet? And he told him what? He said, well, you know, I had a brain aneurysm, and I've got the soft spot, and I have to wear a helmet, or if I ever were hit on the head with a ball, he'd kill me. And so he goes, man, that's amazing. I played with a guy in New York. He had the same thing happen to him.
It was John Olerud.
He goes, yeah, Ricky, that was me.
Yeah, I do remember. That's a great story.
They've been teammates.
Well, Ricky's played for so many teams, he doesn't always remember who he played with. And TJ takes a strike. 7 strikeouts for Chan Ho Park.
For this last pitch, let's look at the shortstop.
Oh, now that's E6 right there. These guys are supposed to be the best defensive players, and he fumbled his ball cap.
Well, he's made 7 errors on the year and 1 hat fumble.
Yep. Well, our cameras are everywhere, Al.
Yeah, including in the booth.
I know. You and I can't get away with anything up here without that camera looking at us. They go to the top of the order. You know, sometimes I'm looking at the bullpen, you know, seeing who's warming up, and they're looking right at us. We can't do anything up here.
Spy cam.
I mean, they turn that thing on an hour or 2 before the game, and they watch us prepare for the telecast. There's Vina with a drag bunt, but it's too close to the bag. Carroll tries to tag him. Why did he do that? That's safe for Vina. All Eric Carroll's had to do was go over and step on the bag, and he chose to tag Vina. And with Fernando getting down, he didn't get down.
Yeah, see, it was just much simpler to just take one more step on the bag. But it took a long time to try and apply the tag, and then he missed it.
Or if he did tag him, Fernando was already on the base.
Now, this is a better look.
Yeah, it looks like he fanned on the tag.
You know what? I thought he fanned on it, too. It looks like it, but it looked like he fanned.
Initially did. Look at Fernando sliding by the bag in all kind of different angles.
I'm not sure he touched it.
And Vina's 3 for 3 today. There's Polanco, and he takes ball 1. That's why I said during the play-by-play portion there, too close to the bag. Eric Karros, all he had to do was pick it up, take about 3 steps. He would have stepped on the base and not have to go reaching for a little guy down on the ground.
You know, once again, kind of a little nonchalant, assuming that was an easy play.
Polanco takes a strike. Looked like Polanco was getting ready to ask for time there. As Park took a long look, he moved one hand up the bat, and then he took the pitch that evened the count. This would be a sweet time for an extra base hit, wouldn't it? You got to respect Polanco everywhere. They play him straight away, left, center, and right. He tries to shoot one to right field. And a great play by a fan downstairs. He didn't catch the ball cleanly, but he took a line drive, knocked it down and gloved it, and then gave his kid the souvenir. So here we are, bottom of the fourth. Cardinals on top 2-1, looking for another one to scratch out here. Good to see Fernando right back in the swing of things. He came into this game 0 for his last 9. He goes 3 for 3 with a homer, 2 singles, and 2 RBIs. Polanco, base hit, right field. Vina stopping. And the little guy's getting it done here with 2 outs. Now we'll see if one of the bigger guys can get some RBIs. What a day for Fernando so far, Al.
First inning, first pitch. He hits his 6th leadoff home run of his career, the 5th this year. Then in the second inning, he gets another RBI single. So both runs, he has the RBIs for, and then here in the 4th, beats out this base hit with a real hustling play and avoiding the tag at first. You know, and how important it is for that all come with 2 outs. Then Polanco gets the base hit to bring up the potential Drew, Pujols, and Edmonds and McGuire.
Well, maybe the Cardinals can get that run back. They walked the Dodgers 2 in the 3rd. JD 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball. Park has pitched him very tough so far, and that breaking ball was way inside. Almost hit it.
So the one thing, remember, Chan Ho started this game, endured the 2-hour and 4-minute rain delay. And now he's pitching here in the 4th, but I mean, we're 3 hours and almost 30 minutes.
JD Drew, broken bat, base hit, RBI. Vina scores. Polanco to 3rd. Cardinals lead 3-1. Number 62 for JD.
Wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
And this all starts with a 2-out bunt.
Give Vina some more credit. There was a ball right off the end of the bat, breaks the bat, but guarantees that it won't get to the outfield. Another run scores. Then Colburn, the pitching coach for the Dodgers, will come out and talk to Chan Ho. And it all starts with this simple little bunt. 2 outs. Instead of stepping on the bag, he tries to apply the tag. Jerry Lane right there says he misses the tag and seemed pretty harmless at that point, but 2 more hits follow. And now Pujols, the most dangerous hitter. Right now, still no activity in the Dodger bullpen.
This could be a big inning now. Good speed on the bases for the Cardinals. Polanco's at 3rd. JD Drew at 1st. Our Bommarito Automotive Group leaderboard. Cardinal rookies, RBIs. Albert has already obliterated Ray Jablonski's home run record. And right here, he could tie or grab that RBI record all for himself. Today, he's 1 for 2 with a single. Jablonski, back in 1953, the first year Anheuser-Busch owned the Cardinals, had a wonderful rookie season. Park, excuse me, swing as Albert was trying to get out of the way.
Chan Ho can do that to a lot of guys. That he can. You don't ever feel comfortable in that batter's box.
Braves did not score. Top of the 6th at Chicago. Still lead 9-4. Drew barely had a leadoff. No problem at all getting back. In Colorado, it is still 4-4 in the 8th inning. That
Reyes.
Eric Gagne, who the Cardinals beat a week ago Friday. Woody Williams pitched so well. The 0-1. Look out! Right in the upper part of the back. And the bases are loaded as Pujols goes down hard. Second Cardinal hit today, and there have been a lot of others almost hit by Park.
Well, that's what I said. Chan Ho is one of those guys that ball explode on you, move in on you. He's hit 2 Cardinals here today. That's 17 batters he's hit this year. And, of course, Cardinals Matt Morris and Darryl Kyle are usually up amongst the league leaders in hit batsmen, too. You see the ball take off and kind of right below the shoulder blade. Got to hurt, and Chan Ho can get that ball up into the 90s. So
no time at all to react on that one.
No, it just takes off, and good thing he just was able to spin and get it in the bat.
Tell you the other thing, Al. Chan Ho Park's going to throw 15 or 20 extra pitches in this inning because of that Vina hit. Jamie Wright of Milwaukee and Eric Gagne of the Dodgers, the other guys who have drilled a bunch of batters, bases loaded, 2 outs, and an Edmonds base hit could make this a huge inning for the Cards. Leading 3-1 here, bottom of the 4th, after a 2-hour rain delay. Edmonds steps out. Maybe a little cat and mouse he wants to play with Chan Ho now. Says, hey, buddy, just because you're ready doesn't mean I am.
Absolutely.
So you stand out there and think about it for a while. We'll see hitters do that. Way inside, almost hit Edmonds.
He's not trying to hit somebody, but remember, as I talked to you about, is, we're almost at 4 hours for when he started.
Yeah.
The game time, and
1-0 the count to Edmonds. On a pitch inside, Jim fouled it straight back.
It came right back inside. So, I mean, even though he's hit 2 batters, he's not gun shy and, missing out over the middle of the plate. Matt Morris. And I just have a theory, and you can check it. But I said, the guys that pitch inside are the guys that win.
Yep. Been that way in this game for a long, long time. The 1-1 to Edmonds. Way inside, ball 2. By this time, we are usually heading for the airport. But the Shadows are going to come into play big time here at Busch Stadium over the last hour or 2 of this game. Right now, they're at the mound. The sun coming from the first base side to our west. And a 2-1 to Edmonds. Big pitch here. He takes it outside. Backdoor breaking ball. Mark McGuire on deck. And what could have been a 1-2-3 inning for Chan Ho Park turning into a 4th inning nightmare. Eric Karros had to step on the bag to retire Vina. Tried to tag him. Base hit. Polanco single. Drew single. Pujols hit by a pitch. Bases loaded. And a chance for a big inning right here. This a 3-1 delivery. High fly ball. Right center. It is deep. It is gone. Grand slam, Edmonds. Seven to 1 Cardinals on Jim's 3rd career grand slam. It'll knock out Chan Ho Park, who has a history of grand slams with the Cardinals.
I was just thinking that. Same guy that Tatis hit 2 grand slams off in the same inning out in Los Angeles. Tried to come in on him again, but he left it down and out over the plate. He takes it over the center field wall, and this crowd was a little quiet, but not after they score 5 here in the 4th with 2 outs. And Edmonds' 3rd career grand slam, his 26th home run, giving RBIs 91, 2, 3, and 4. And Chan-Ho Park, you got to appreciate he tried to stay in there and weather that rain delay, but maybe the Cardinals were wiser in taking Morris out. And
Cardinals 2 homers today. A solo by Vina, a grand slam by Edmonds. Dodgers pitching change, 7-1 St. Louis. An amazing turn of events for the Cardinals. A 2-out, none-on inning turns in to a 5-run frame. Cardinals lead 7-1. Mark McGwire steps in against Eric Gagne, who the Cardinals beat on a great night by Woody Williams a week ago Friday.
Gagne's 5th relief appearance. He has 23 starts.
Mark McGwire did not play in that game August 31st as Gagne went 4 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. He gave up a 2-run homer in that game to Jim Edmonds. Mack swings through it. Cardinals eventually won that Friday night game 5-1 at Los Angeles. The only game they won in that 3-game series. Big Mac today 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Jim Edmonds' grand slam, 418 feet into the greenery in center field. McGwire hits it a mile in the air, and it drops right behind the screen 2 rows deep. And there wasn't a fan down there who wanted any part of that thing.
From RoboCam. Looking straight up. Chad runs out of real estate.
Gagne to McGwire. And the fastball high. Cubs didn't score in the 5th. Braves didn't score in the 6th at Chicago. Atlanta leads 9-4. They're still in the 8th inning. Giants have been batting for a while at Colorado. 4-4 that score. Upstairs, ball 3 to Big Mac.
Gagne was born in Montreal, still lives there. There used to be a long-time farm team for the Dodgers.
Yes, sir. The Montreal Royals. Jackie Robinson played there.
Yep.
That's ball 4, Mark. There you go. Well, the Mark McGwire, is it Al, the adult bobblehead night on the 18th is already sold out. But on Sunday, September 16th, Cardinals Astros, first 20,000 fans 15 and under with a paid admission receive a Big Mac bobblehead doll. You can call the Cardinal charge line tomorrow at 314-421-2400. Paquette, first pitch swinging, fouls it out of play over into the shade on the right side. Craig with a base hit and a run scored in 2 trips today. Big slow curveball. Arizona has added another run. They lead the Padres at home 3-0 after 3.5 at the Bank One ballpark. And that's ball 1 from Gagne as he missed away with the fastball.
Gets a 9th batter in this inning.
9th Cardinal to bat in the inning is Paquette. Big curveball strikes him out. Cardinals get 5 on 4 hits. What a big inning. Jim Edmonds' 3rd career grand slam. Cardinals lead 7-1.
Into the 5th inning we go. Quite an explosion. Cardinals now leading 7-1. Grand slam home run by Jim Edmonds. And joining us, one of the class guys in all of baseball. Been with the Cardinals organization. George, correct me if I'm wrong, since what, 1940?
40, that's right.
Of course, this is George Kissel. We see him in uniform in the dugout. Nowadays up here, you're going to get back in uniform, though, sir, aren't you?
Well, I hope so. I hope I haven't given it up yet.
It's some sort of goofy loophole that's got you out of the dugout. We want you back in there. Happy birthday, 81 years old, George. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's just the numbers make you old, you know, not my health. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Did you know this is also Grandparents' Day?
No, I didn't know
You have
that.
grandkids?
Yes, I have 4, and one of them is a surgeon. My granddaughter, who's 27 years old.
All right. You've seen so much in this game, but you can never go ahead and count anybody out, right? Here's 2 outs in the inning. Bean, you look like you should have been out. Look what the Cardinals did.
That's right. I always said in baseball you can't take a movie of it because you never know how it's going to turn out. I mean, nothing is 1, 2, 3. And today we scored all our runs after 2 out, and none of them were cheap.
In all the years that you've been with the Cardinals and around baseball, do you have one player that's your favorite? One guy who maybe you've helped or enjoyed watching play?
Oh, that's kind of tough for me because I've had so many good ones. You know, I hate to say that because I'm afraid to offend somebody else, you know. But anyway, I think, or I feel, that I'm the luckiest guy because I've been with the Cardinals all these years, and the players and I get along well. Well, I should say Kenny Boyer and Tim McCarver and the left-hand pitcher Carlson. I've had probably 8 or 10 Hall of Famers. So if you say one, you think that I'm favoring the other.
Well, Bob, Al, I guarantee you the guys in uniform, this man is their favorite, isn't he?
Absolutely. And Bob, you know, for a couple of years, there have been some ridiculous managers that have complained. There's a rule that you can only have six coaches. And usually what they've done is they've asked the manager, you know, for special permission to have George Kissel in uniform. He's been with the organization since 1940. He is so well respected by everybody, and everybody says, you know, that's fine. But apparently somebody has turned in the Cardinals and have complained that George Kissel was in uniform.
Well, I think we should find out who that is.
Yep. I think Tony's open to have a little discussion with the commissioner and see if they can get that changed.
Low and outside, T.J. Matthews to Mark Grizzolonic. T.J. has retired 5 in a row. 2-2 to Grizzolonic with Sean Green here in the 5th on deck. Swing and a miss. T.J. has a great breaking ball going today. He's now fanned 3 straight.
You know, T.J. has kind of sat there biding his time, hoping to get this opportunity to show everyone that he can still pitch. And you know, when you have Dave Beers is going to be out 7 to 10 days, maybe this is the opportunity that T.J. needs, and he's going to make the most of it.
Sean's had a big weekend. A couple of homers here Friday night. Got Dustin Hermanson twice. Dodgers winning that game handily. Well, he's now hit 46. Another blast yesterday. I mean, way out of here. And he hits one high in the air on a play to the left side.
He's 0 for 1 with a walk here today and 6 for 10 in the series with 3 bombs.
Wow. What a good kid he is, too. Dodgers traded Raul Mondesi to the Blue Jays. There were other players involved on November 8th of '99. And a high fly ball to left center, battling the sun, Pujols. He is there. He's got it. And T.J. Matthews with another 1-2-3. 2 1/3 scoreless for him. Cardinals by 6. This portion of Cardinal Baseball on WB11 is brought to you by the President Casino, now electrifying the landing, and by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it. of the Cardinals did a nice little thing a moment ago. They showed the replay of the 1985 Jack Clark playoff homer against Tom Niedenfuhr. Then the scoreboard went to a live shot of Jack in the Dodger dugout, their hitting coach. Cardinal fans gave him a great ovation. Jack Clark had a great career, Al. He hit 340 home runs, drove in 1,180 with the Giants, the Cardinals, the Yankees, the Padres, and the Red Sox.
Yeah, and he loves talking hitting. Whether it's with the Dodger players or going to the Legends camp, talking to Cardinal fans. Jack was there last year with us. Going to be back again this year.
He is one big dude. And a great catch by Dad right below us. His little gal gives him a hug.
Look at her. Boy, is she excited.
Now give me the ball, Dad. Isn't that great? Family fun at the ballpark. Here's Matheny again. He takes one low and away. Tough for the hitters right now, because there's a big patch of sunlight right in front of home plate. Everything else in the shadows. Pitcher, batter, catcher now. And Mike fans again. That's his third of the day. Second strikeout for Eric Gagne. If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, point your browser no further than carsoup.com. Over 6,000 vehicles online. There's sure to be a deal for you. Check out carsoup.com. We're going to dial one up and see if we can find a nice pre-owned vehicle for our stage manager, Timmy Garcia. He's always looking for a nice vehicle to cross the river with. Just past the 5 o'clock hour here in St. Louis. Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV St. Louis. WB11, flagship station of the Cardinal Television Network. Well, TJ's got my vote for the W today, Al, and I'm sure the official score would feel the same. He has the discretion on who gets the win in a relief situation like this, and TJ has been wonderful, even if he can't hit.
I tell him you said that. I agree with you, and you can see how tough it is. You see Gagne is so dark as he is in the shadows. Home plate is in that light spot. And of course, it looks like Vina's in the spotlight, and he has been in this game.
How about that? Yeah, I'm sure the architects of Busch Stadium had a little bit of this in mind when they designed this stately structure that was opened in 1966 with the beautiful arches up in the roof. High fly ball on a play to the left side. There they are. Did you folks know that Busch Stadium is not round? It's not perfectly round. It's just a little oblong from home plate to center. And that was a little secret thing they did way back then to keep those seats on the side just a little bit closer to the infield. It's nearly circular. If you ever read about the Cardinal ballpark in the media guide, it'll say nearly circular. Not quite. No balls, 2 strikes. I think I read where it's something like 850 feet from the back of home plate out between gates 4 and 5 all the way out to behind the batter's eye out there in center.
You have way too much time on your hands.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. I could tell the way you were looking at me, I was about to get hammered. A 1-2-3. Gagne strikes out the Cardinals side in the 5th, but the Redbirds lead 7-1. Well, the Suntrup Automotive family have a lot of time on their hands, too. So they bring us trivia. Prior to Darryl Kyle's 20-win season, when was the last Cardinal 20-game winner? That's cool. I bet Al knows.
Sure I do.
Here's Paul Loduca leading off for the Dodgers in the 6th. We're getting into a lot of trivia this afternoon.
Kind of double your pleasure.
Oh, that's going to be a clue. The Cardinals have 2 in the same year. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike. That was it in the 80s?
Yep. about the midpoint.
Yeah, 85.
Yep.
Was one a righty and one a lefty?
Yep. And both thought left-handed.
They thought left-handed?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, one was left-handed.
The other thought he was a left-handed batter. I know that. he fancied himself a power hitter, didn't he?
Yeah.
I saw a quote from this other pitcher on the scoreboard today. He said, "I don't talk because I talk too much."
That was true.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Loduca. 0 for 1 with a walk. And he flies it out of play. There's some souvenirs being sprayed around the ballpark today. There are some empty seats because some folks took off for home during the long rain delay. Well, there's a little more maneuvering room for some foul balls here today. There's a swing and a miss. T.J. Matthews, 4th strikeout. Now, Rich Gould is going to take us way to the far east today, Rich. They're doing this game because Park started in Korea, right?
That's exactly right. Chan-Ho Park, of course, got the start. Los Angeles, the melting pot of, well, of about any place. They've got the game in English and Spanish, and also today in Korean. You want to listen in? Let's listen to the next hitter as they do their work.
2번째거든요. 근데 지난번에도 한 번 패했고 오늘도 지금 4번 타자로 나와가지고 3타수 무안타. 지금 전혀 2타수 무안타고 전혀 역할을 좀 못해주고 있어요. 제1구 스윙 쳤습니다. 숏 잡았습니다. 숏땅볼 버스에 성공합니다. 아웃 당하는 에릭 캐로스.
And that is a ground out. Carroll 6-3, second out of the inning. How about that?
All right, Rich, that's cool. I'm sure some of our fans, if they just clicked on a moment ago, thought that was Al Raboski after one of his overseas baseball trips.
I went to Korea.
I know you did.
Yeah.
And that is great, great baseball country over there. Chan-Ho Park, who is no longer around in this game, the first Korean-born player ever to be named to the National League or any Major League All-Star team. Here's Beltre, who's flied out twice to left. How about T.J. Matthews? If he gets Beltre, that will be 10 in a row. You talk about a guy settling down the ball game and giving your bullpen a big-time break. There's his fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it's just one of those situations, you know, you wait around, you wait for this one opportunity. And remember, too, there are a lot of people that are watching this game because of the wild card implications.
Breaking ball hit hard to center. Edmonds backing up. He is there. And that is it. We'll answer our trivia question about those 20-game winners when we come back. 10 straight for TJ. 7-1 Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals will have consecutive 20-game winners. Darryl Kyle last year. Matt Morris will get his this year. Make no mistake about it. And the last time the Cardinals had a 20-game winner, well, it was 2 of them. The lefty John Tudor and the right-handed strikeout man Joaquin Andahar each had 21. The Whitey Herzog's National League champions. 7-1 Cardinals. Bottom of the 6th. Polanco, Drew, and Pujols against Eric Gagne, who's come in and settled this thing down for L.A. pretty well. He's retired 4 batters in a row, and Polanco fouls one back. It'll be a little easier for the hitters now because everything's in the shadows, clouds overhead. Placido today 1 for 2, hit by a pitch, singled, scored a run. His base hit really got the Cardinals going in that 5-run 4th inning, and he will foul out to Eric Karros here. Monday, September 17th, Cardinals Brewers, AMC Theaters Player Action Photo Night. All fans 15 and under, with a paid admission, receive an action photo featuring Shady Drew. In the bottom of the photo, and for the coupon, good for a free small popcorn courtesy of AMC. That'll be Monday, September 17th, Cardinals Brewers. $36,337 at the ballpark today. JD 1 for 3 with an RBI base hit. Change up, rammed into the corner. Heading for the wall. It is off the wall. Green plays it well, but J.D. with that great speed into second base, his second consecutive hit. Hooking that ball beautifully into the right field corner.
There's one thing, you can be vulnerable to certain pitches, but if you throw him a strike or you get a ball that is up a little bit, miss the location, J.D. is so talented he can hurt you.
And he did. 1-on-1 out. Got a big birthday tomorrow for some friend?
No, how about today? Today's the 9th, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
January 9th is also Shannon and Meredith Talley's birthday. 24 years old. They're huge, huge Cardinal fans. And hopefully they're still watching this game. We want to wish them happy birthday. Well, maybe we can punctuate it with some more damage.
Well, if they're huge Cardinal fans, they certainly are tuned in.
All right.
We've got some other well wishes to pass out here. Pujols, 1 for 2 with a base hit and a hit batter. Natalie Lesko will be 27 years of age tomorrow. We'd like to send get well wishes to Gail Harris, recovering from knee replacement surgery. He's at home in Greenville, Illinois tonight. A Cardinal fan for 40 years. Never misses a Cardinal television game. And that was his sweet wife sending us that note. And a high pop-up short center. Rosalanek will yield to Grissom. A couple of former Expos out there communicating. And that's the second out with Edmonds coming up. A big Cardinal fan at Missouri Baptist Hospital this weekend. We'd like to wish get well wishes to John Allen. Here's Jim Edmonds. And how about that 4th inning, Al? That was wild.
Yeah, 2 outs. Here's the drop down the bunt. And Karros, instead of step on the bag, tried to tag him. J.D. Drew, he had the base hit. RBI. Then Pujols got hit, and there was the grand slam by Jim Edmonds. His 3rd career slam, 26th home run this year, and RBI is up to 94 now.
Yes, sir. Working ball high. That's off to Peg and Bill Dillingham of Hannibal, Missouri, celebrating 51 years of wedded bliss today. Congratulations to Peg and Bill up in Hannibal.
Connor Keeley wishes he would have stayed around to see that grand slam.
High fly left field. Lo Duca battling that Sunfield out there, and he's got it. Cardinals gone in the 6th. They strand their 7th runner of the day, but they have sent 7 safely home. 7-1 Redbirds. Everything else, log on to STLCardinals.com, the official source of Cardinal statistics. STLCardinals.com. Connect with it. I bet you Tony takes a peek every once in a while to see some of those numbers. If he logs on tomorrow, he will know, and I'm sure he does already, that this is a career-long outing for T.J. Matthews. 3 1/3 innings already, and he's going to extend his personal record right here.
Well, one of the reasons why he's able to do so is he's been perfect. Faced 10 batters, retired all 10, so he's not throwing an excessive amount of pitches.
Striking out 4. Grissom leads off. And a breaking ball. Misses. T.J. Matthews, his wife Kelly, she is something else, that gal. As far as I know, T.J. is the only player in Major League Baseball whose wife is a basketball coach. She's done some junior college coaching out in the Bay Area. And T.J. told me on several occasions she's been to the ball games to watch Kelly stomp up and down those sidelines. She is really a great gal. 2 balls, no strikes. Swinging a foul straight back.
So TJ is a good competitor, but really shows no emotion. And Kelly's the one that goes out there and rants and raves.
She shows some emotion.
That's good. I like that.
You like a little fire in a woman, Al?
Yeah, and a woman.
2 balls and a strike. Three and 1.
You know, it's Grandpa and Grandparents' Day here, right? So Amanda and Michelle Sweet of Fenton would like to wish their grandma and Grandpa Neff of Orissa, Illinois, happy Grandparents' Day. Also hi to Jody and Lamont.
High pop-up, short center. Edmond circles behind it. He is there. 11 straight for TJ. And as we mentioned, 4 strikeouts, Al, all swinging third strikes.
Yeah, he's had a good slider working for him. Really kind of fooled a lot of guys. There's a fastball up and in. Got a check swing. And then there's the slider. Now there's slider. And there's another one. So 4 strikeouts, but all 11 batters he's faced, he's retired.
Fastball high in the strike zone. We got a wonderful note from Linda Hirsch and Linda Gastrike. They're from Baldwin and Chesterfield, cheering on the Cardinals, and Linda would like to wish her grandparents, Frida and Milton Darmstatter of St. Louis, a very happy 66th wedding anniversary tomorrow. The 0-1 grounded foul, and then Linda Gastrike would like to wish her grandmother, Lillian Pullman of St. Louis, a very happy Grandparents' Day. A beautiful full color generated by a computer note sent up to us. Thank you very much, girls. Happy Grandparents' Day to all you folks out there. I think one of the best bumper stickers I ever saw on a grandparent's car. The 0-2 to Kruger. He is gone. TJ 5 strikeouts now, and he'll face Jeff Branson pinch hitting. Nasty breaking ball.
Just really fooling these guys. They're not seeing that pitch, swinging over the top of it. So what did it say? If our new grandkids were so much fun, I would have had them first.
Would have had them first. Here's Jeff Branson. Used to be a pretty valuable utility guy for the Reds. He's bounced around the minor leagues for the last couple of seasons. Left-handed batter who's got a nice line drive stroke, and he can play several different infield positions. And he was one of the Dodgers September call-ups. As I mentioned, they called up a whole bunch of position players last week. Chris Donalds, Branson, McKay Christensen, Phil Hyatt, who hit over 40 homers in the minors this year, Al, to lead all minor leaguers.
44.
And Bruce Avon, who we used to see with Florida, and catcher Brian Johnson. They really beefed up their bench for the wild card drive or National League Western Division drive. Activity in the Dodger bullpen.
Mike Trombley should be the next pitcher for them.
Breaking ball at the knees. Dodgers recently picked up Mike Trombley, longtime Minnesota Twin. They have an interesting front office situation, the Dodgers do. Dave Wallace is the interim general manager. A young man who is his assistant, who worked a lot of years for the White Sox. A longtime buddy of mine, Danny Evans, is in the ballpark today, and Danny is one of the guys the Dodgers are looking at because they're going to hire a permanent GM at some point. Dave Wallace has already stated he does not want that job on a permanent basis. In fact, they had to talk him out of Vero Beach just to take that job on an interim basis while the Dodgers try to recover from the stormy regime of Kevin Malone, who was fired back on April 18th.
Bob, I've heard that there is going to be a lot of general managers and team presidents changing hands.
High fly to center. What GM wouldn't want to work for a club with a payroll of $115 million? T.J. Matthews, 4 1/3 perfect innings. Time to stretch. Cards lead by 6. Here's how you get Cardinal Game Day magazine. 982-7336. Area code 314. A great gift for our Cardinal fans. Greg Paquette, part of the issue this month. You can spend a day with the Cardinals ground crew. And if you subscribe today and receive every Cardinal Game Day magazine through August next year, you will be all set. Red hot issue. Cover boy J.D. Drew. Mike Trombley, longtime American League veteran, takes over for the Dodgers as Mark McGwire leads off, bottom 7.
He's appearing for the 14th time. He's lost 2 games. ERA at 4.32. Only 16 plus innings.
And a strike to McGwire, a pitcher he knows from the American League.
Baltimore last year after all those years with Minnesota.
The 0-1 to Mack. Fastball low and away. Dodgers don't play as much of a shift on Mark as a lot of teams do. I think these days this is the way you play Mark. He's more liable to hit the ball to right field than he is when he's really driving off that back foot. Pulls off a breaking ball and can't get it 1-2. What's going on in Colorado? They're in extra innings. 4-4 after 9. We're in the top of the 8th at Chicago. Braves lead the Cubs. And the Cardinals are about to go into second place all alone. McGuire fans for the second time today. That's how the bottom of the 7th gets underway.
With a slider, a good tight little slider right off the start on the outside corner. Bottom falls away and continues to move away from the right-handed swing.
Our good Cardinal PR guy Brian Bartow just passed a note to us. Brian and all the Cardinal front office would like to welcome Pat Lindsay and the group from St. Thomas Seminary in Hannibal, enjoying a Cardinal 7-1 win today. At least a 7-1 lead. And a strike to Paquette. And we'd like to send birthday wishes to Cardinal fan Don Fenton. He's tuned in Murfreesboro, Illinois on this beautiful Sunday. Greg Paquette 1 for 3 with a base hit, couple of strikeouts. And he takes one on the inside corner. Quickly it's 0-2.
Keeley family and Edwards family. We'll say hi to all their friends across the river.
Little tapper, looks like a fair ball, and a tag by Kruder. Catcher reacted a little quicker than the batter did, and it'll be 2 unassisted for Chad Kruder. Today's copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball, a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. Mike Matheny 0 for 3, hasn't made contact yet. He has now. Long ball, left field. See you later. Into the bullpen. 8-1 Cardinals on Matheny's 7th of the year.
Now, a frustrating day offensively until that swing by Mike Matheny. But you know, he's always going to do a good job of handling the pitchers, blocking balls. But right now, that 7th home run brings a smile to his face. He jumped all over this pitch, hits it to the back of the visitors' bullpen. His 7th home run, and the ball club, what's that, 125? Or
that's 177 on the home run total.
177, yeah, because of 3 today.
T.J. Matthews done. Miguel Cairo hits for him. Drops one into right center. Can Sean Green get there? Yep. And the inning is over. Cardinals pull out the big guns today. Vina, Edmonds, Matheny homers, 8-1 St. Louis. This portion of Cardinal Baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Bank of America. We find financial solutions that fit you. And by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. For tires and complete auto service, all you need is Dobbs. Top of the 8th, it's all Redbirds, 8-1. Cubs are losing 9-4 as they bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. It looks like the Cardinals will finally leapfrog over Chicago and go into second place here in the NL Central. Cardinals will bring their right-hander Mike James on to pitch here in the top of the 8th inning.
T.J. Matthews, you got to put a big medal on his chest because he saved the bullpen.
You know, Al, when folks look at the score tomorrow, they'll say 8-1, big deal. It was not a big deal. When the lead, that is, when T.J. came in, he really kept this ball game close.
It was 2-1 with the bases loaded. And he was able to retire that man. Matter of fact, he retired everyone for 4 1/3 innings. And now Mike James will try and close this one out. So, you know, you're really in good shape going into the Milwaukee series where you're worried about the bullpen. And now if we can have a 1-2-3 or efficient 9th inning, the bullpen is intact for tomorrow and the whole series.
Well, you saw the standings. Cardinals and Cubs tied. May not be for long. Cubbies about to fall to their 5th consecutive loss. And they've had a lot of years where they have swooned in June. They made it a lot longer this year. And Al, if you're a Cub fan, going through what they're going through now in September probably has to break your heart more than had it happened in June.
Well, I just, you know, it's the June swoon. That's the average.
I got you. Jeff Rebele leads off for the Dodgers, top of the 8th. Mike James, who pitched a bunch on the West Coast for the California, then the Anaheim Angels. 4th Cardinal pitcher. And the breaking ball is high.
And Mike spent that little time on the disabled list, came back up when they expanded the rosters, but he's gained some weight. He's filled out a little bit.
He does look larger. Good fastball. 2-1. I'll tell you about some of the finals. Toronto won at Detroit 6-3 after a rain delay. Yankees beat the Red Sox 7-2. Royals at Texas. They're going extras. They're tied 3-3 after 10. White Sox beaten at Cleveland 9-8. Boy, they got some crazy games in that ballpark. Top of the 10th. Giants tied at Colorado 4-4. Phillies won at Montreal 12-4. Reds at Pittsburgh 5-3. Astros at home over Milwaukee 8-0. And those are your finals. 2-2. Head in looking, and he didn't go around. Good job by Rebele of laying off a pretty good 2-2 breaking ball. That one is right over the plate. See ya. 8th strikeout by Cardinal pitching today, and obviously Jeff Rebele was guessing there, and the breaking ball just punched him out.
Looking fastball, and the breaking ball fooled him. Well, Mike James, before he came here, had elbow and shoulder problems. Got to a good start last year. Spent a little time on the disabled list. When he came back, he was very effective. Hopefully that'll be the case down the stretch.
His major league high in innings pitched. 5 years ago with the Angels, he pitched 81 innings in 69 appearances.
And he was very good at setting up Troy Percival.
He had 7 saves the following year when Percival was out for a little while. The 1-0 to Grizzolonic. Fastball of beauty, outside corner. Mike appeared in 51 games for the Cards last year. 51 1/3 innings. So he was a 1-inning guy most of the time. Breaking ball high. You can see that little hesitation he has. The one chink in his armor is when men are on base, Mike is a little slow to home plate. Earlier this year, the Cardinals tried to speed him up, and then his fastball was floating and sailing all over the place. 2-1 pitch. Best way to combat that, keep him off base. That foul ball evens the count 2-2.
On day of baseball here at Busch. Baseball and rain.
Fortunately for the Cardinals and all of us going with the team to Milwaukee, it is a nice short trip on our charter flight later tonight. Hopefully no weather problems will keep us from making a nice soft landing there at General Mitchell Field. Cardinals will take the Brewers on 4 straight. 2-2. Challenge him with a fastball. McGuire, tough hop. Nice play. 2 outs. Well done by Big Matt.
Watch Mac keep that glove low, so it's much easier to bring it up if you get that bad hop. And Mac stayed with it, and a little flip to Mike James covering.
Did a good job, Al, of keeping that big body behind the ball too, huh?
Yep, that's big body right there, but you know you got to make sure you knock it down. The last Dodger hit
I was thinking the same thing. How about
was
this?
in the 3rd.
Wow. Same time as their last base runner. The double by Rebele, 3 walks. They only have 2 hits this entire game. Cardinals must have seen the Dodger blue and thought it was navy blue of San Diego, the way they stopped the Padres in that series. Look out, right in the middle of the back, and Sean Green goes down. Mike James has been warned. Both benches have been warned by Paul Schreiber.
Sean Green 6 for 11 in the series. Cardinals got a couple guys were hit in this game. Better time to retaliate, but you can see that ball up around the shoulder blade and then it comes down and hits him inside the face.
Yeah, that probably irritates you more than anything.
Yeah, Mike throws that ball right there and he gets him, but then the ball bounces up, comes down and hits him on the jaw.
Okay, with the bases empty and 2 outs to their best batter. Here's Loduca. Runner goes. Then he stops. Strike 1. I thought he had a pretty good jump.
Yeah, but where are you going?
Down by 7. Now that's the kind of thing that could start another brawl, especially if you're the team way ahead.
Well, I mean, it's too risky. No, I mean,
you get to second base, they can't hit a 7-run base hit to tie the game. And James misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And even though he's slow to the plate and Green has 18 steals in 22 attempts, he looked pretty foolish having the game end on being thrown out at second. Of course, it wouldn't end here in the 8th inning, would it?
Well, that's just about as embarrassing. 8th inning, 9th inning. Your point is well taken. And Al, I appreciate your optimism, but there will have to be another inning played here before we can leave. 1-2. You're thinking ahead, though. I like that.
Oh, 1-2.
Breaking ball, bounce to third. Polanco, or rather Paquette, over to Vina, and that'll do it. Dodgers gone. They've stranded 6 runners today. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order for the Cardinals. Green goes down. Cardinals way up. Our play of the game brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. Hey, Al, we're going to go a little small ball today.
Well, this is our Budweiser play of the game because it set everything up for the big inning. 2 outs. Vina lays down a bunt. We thought it was going to be an easy play for Karros, but instead of stepping on the bag, he tried to tag him, missed him, and then Polanco fall with a base hit. J.D. an RBI single. A hit batsman, Pujols, loaded the bases for Jim Edmonds, and he hit his 3rd career grand slam. So the misplay by Karros set it all up, and because it was scored a base hit, no error there, all 7 runs were charged and earned runs to Park, who had a great ERA under 3 coming in. That took a hit.
Dodgers will give their closer, Jeff Shaw, an inning of work here. Outstanding closer. He's 1 save away from 200. 39 on the year. He has led the National League in saves most of the season, with Rob Nen and Trevor Hoffman right behind him. Right now, Shaw and Nen have 39. Armando Benitez of the Mets has popped up with 38 with their winning streak, and Trevor Hoffman and Jose Mesa have 36.
Better than 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
And he's not a guy who blows people away. He's a control pitcher who's a closer.
Absolutely.
Vina flirting with his 4th hit of the day. A little foul. He's handled Jeff Shaw well.
3 for 5. I guess now that he's hits all these home runs, we got to show how many home runs.
Yeah, he's a power hitter. There's a 4-hit day. Vina out to left center. Ball bobbled by Grissom. Fernando will stay. What a nice day for him. 3 singles, a homer, 2 runs scored.
You leave the batter's box thinking 2, and then you make the defensive man stop you. He's kind of trotting out there. He saw Grissom, who has no errors on the year, a very good center fielder, bobbled that ball. He thought about going for 2, but wisely chose not to.
Boy, you love the way that guy plays this game. Polanco, the batter. Low. I found out all I needed to know last year about Fernando Vina. Down in the clubhouse one day, getting the scorebook ready for a ball game. He came up to me and tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "Bob, how am I doing?" He had no idea what his batting average was. He just goes out and grinds it out every day. I'll tell you one thing he does know about, and that's his error total. Takes a lot of pride in his defense. Would dearly love to win a Gold Glove for the first time.
And I think we would vote.
I would.
I would. I mean, we don't have a vote, but in my estimation, he's made a few errors, but you know, with the chances that he gets, for the most part, and most of the time, some of his best defensive plays have come when the game's on the line.
You got that right. Does anybody turn the double play better at second than little Fernando Vina?
No, and I guess for some of the older or well-informed audience, I'd say comparable to, you know, he's better, but I mean, he kind of reminds you a little bit of Julian Javier. And just the fact that gets rid of it so quick, they call Juli the ghost.
Impossible to take out on a double play. I think Fernando's got quicker hands than Juli.
Right.
2-1. Broken bat. They'll have to hurry for 2. Turned well by Grissom on it. Polanco, though, is safe. If you don't hit a perfect ground ball, you can't double up. The Cardinals' first 2 batters.
And Polanco really doesn't have that good, exceptional speed, but you know, he hustles all the time. Broke the bat, and so that slows it down just slightly. And really hustling right there just extends the inning.
What does my partner always say? Al Lebowski says, if you always hustle, you will never embarrass yourself on a major league diamond.
I don't think Polanco ever will do that either.
No,
embarrass himself.
Here's JD. Started 0 for 2. Now he's had a good day. Batting average at .329. And it's over the low. I'd like to thank our crew and my partner and you folks at home for indulging me on a day when I'm a little under the weather. Hope I haven't sniffled on the air too many times. Like that. They couldn't put us on camera. I've been blowing my nose all day. The 1-0. And a little nubber to the right side. Karros changes his mind. Almost lost the runner at first. I'll tell you, Polanco must have had a heck of a jump down to second base. It looked like that was the play of choice.
Well, you always talk about it. That's where you're hustling. But, you know, as a defensive player, you've got to get at least 1. And that's a very difficult play. One, the first baseman's throwing on the run a little bit, but that runner has closed the gap so much for the shortstop covering. There's a real high percentage that you're going to hit the runner and not get an out. So you've got to make sure you get at least 1.
Here's Pujols. And Shaw works inside to him. Top of the 9th at Chicago. Braves lead the Cubs 9-4. Trying to sweep. Albert 2 bases away with an RBI sitting out there from tying Ray Jablonski's rookie record of 112 48 years ago. Not in this at bat. A high fly ball to Grissom. Marquise finally has it come down, and the Cardinals have left their 8th base runner. Into the 9th inning. Redbirds 8, Dodgers 1. 2 out of 3 right around the corner. Cardinal baseball tomorrow on Fox Sports Net. Starts with the Cardinals Tonight pregame show. Dan and Al will have it all for you from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Luis Saturia will get some playing time here. He'll take over in left field for Albert Pujols. That's the only change the Cardinals make defensively other than the pitcher, where Mike Timlin will get an inning of work here.
That's right, appearing for the 59th time, 3 wins and 8 decisions, 4.22 ERA, 3 saves, 64 innings, little 4 more hits than innings pitched, 6 home runs, 16 walks, 41 strikeouts. And let's see if he can close this out. Bullpen has done the job after 8 relievers were used yesterday.
Steck Schulte getting the save.
They've only used 5 today. That's an improvement.
Well, that's not bad when you consider
No,
Luther
it's
Heckman
4.
was out of the game in the 3rd inning.
4 guys.
4 relievers. Eric Karros will lead off for the Dodgers in the top of the ninth. And the Cardinals will win this series, and they will split the season series with the Dodgers 3-3 and lead the all-time series 924 to 915. The Dodgers go to San Diego from here, off day tomorrow. They'll play the Padres for 3. That'll be some race in that National League West down the stretch. Starting this day, Giants a game and a half back of the Diamondbacks. Dodgers only 2 out. And the Padres can play spoilers. So can the Rockies, who've really been pitching the ball pretty well lately. That Colorado staff's been pretty good. They are still tied after 10 at Coors Field. Giants Rockies 4-4. And a pop-up out of play to the right side.
Dodgers, after winning Friday night, have to be very disappointed in losing these next 2.
We just heard Giants got 5 in the top of the 11, leading the Rockies 9-4. So now, at best, the Cardinals would stay a game back of San Francisco in the wild card race, but the Cards would leapfrog over the Dodgers and the Cubs and be in second place behind San Francisco.
And remember, we talked about, and I know San Francisco has played the Dodgers, and probably the softest factor. They'll get some San Diego games, but they also have 6 games with Houston.
A drive by Karros foul. And I'll guarantee you one thing, Al. Any team in that division, and the Giants will be done with it today, they do not want to go to Coors Field playing road games in September against the Rockies.
Yeah, they do have to do that. I think they have a home and away series with the Rockies.
Dodgers?
Yeah. Well, I think Dodgers and
the Giants are there now, so they're wrapping up the weekend.
Yeah.
They're leading 9-4 in the 11th inning. That'll be an advantage for them just to be done with Coors Field. Eric Karros 0 for 2 with an RBI walk today. And the outfield playing deep and straight away. Breaking ball, he offered, did not go, says Jerry Lane down at first base. Fastball, got him on the corner. That's the first out in the top of the ninth. Mike Timlin with a nifty fastball. And not a real nice day for Eric Karros.
Just froze him right there. Thought the ball was off the plate, but another strikeout for the Cardinals pitching staff.
Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV St. Louis, WB11. Hope you've enjoyed it today on the flagship station of our Cardinal network. It's taken a long time to get our business done today. We're 13 minutes shy of 5 hours since first pitch. 2-hour rain delay. So around a 3-hour ball game still. Beltre 0 for 3. And a tapper, third baseline foul. Yeah, you're Craig Paquette. You come in and play the ball, throw it to first until you're sure. Don't assume it's a foul ball.
Yeah, you kind of come in there. You don't have the opportunity to wait and see if it's fair or foul or what the umpire's judgment is. You try and execute the play. And in this case, then you say thank you for calling it foul.
There's still some suspense left in that Rams game today. They're up by a touchdown with, what, 5-6 minutes to go?
A little less than 6.
Defense has played well today. Here in St. Louis at the ball game, no errors by either club. Although Eric Karros made a misjudgment that really led to a break open situation in this game. On a play to the right side off the bat of Beltre. He's got a 14-game hitting streak that's about to end unless he gets one safely in here. And the 0-2 from Timlin. Hard breaking ball, foul tip. Beltre stays alive. If you weren't with us earlier, pitching pairings for the Milwaukee series. Darryl Kyle, Jamie Wright tomorrow. Woody Williams going for his 3rd straight complete game, maybe, against an undetermined Milwaukee pitcher Tuesday. Dustin Hermanson, Max Suzuki Wednesday, Bud Smith, Ruben Cavedo Thursday afternoon. And Beltre staying alive. Fox Sports Net Monday night, WB11 Tuesday night, Fox Sports Net Wednesday night from Milwaukee for your TV plans, according to the Cardinal game notes. Is that right, Al?
I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, there it is.
Really?
WB11 Tuesday night.
Okay.
A rare weeknight game.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2.
Wardrobe.
One less coat and tie for Dan and Al in Milwaukee, and there's a base hit, and Beltre has a 15-game hitting streak. He's on with 1 out. Marquise Grissom will bat here in the top of the 9th inning. Marquise today 0 for 2 with a walk. Texas won that ball game at home, getting a run in the 10th to beat Kansas City 4-3. And we've given you all the other finals from the American League today. If you wonder what Seattle's doing, well, they're on their way to their 103rd win, leading after 7.5 at home over Baltimore, 6-0. They're saying farewell to Cal Ripken Jr. in Seattle today. Third base, tough play, Paquette. It fell out of his webbing. That'll probably give Grissom a hit. All you can do is charge it. A little short hop. And it hit the bottom of Craig Paquette's webbing and just went right down to the ground.
I think, too, when he came charging in, there was a point where it looked like he was looking up into bright sunshine. See, look at how. And so it making it even more difficult. See right there. One of those little portholes. They give you an idea. We had sun, shade, and tough play. Dave Hansen's going to pinch it here.
He'll bat in the number 8 spot for Chad Kruder. Dave Hansen, one of the better pinch hitters the Dodgers have ever had. This year, he has 6 pinch hits.
Not as
107 in his major league career.
Not as good as last year, where he set a major league record with 7 pinch hit home runs.
Third among active players behind Lenny Harris and John Vanderwall. Steve Klein throwing with the Cardinals up by 7. And a shot right off the roof of the Dodger dugout.
Boy, I'd have some people in that front row scrambling.
Players ducking, fans flinching. They hit the top of the dugout and fell harmlessly before getting anybody.
Those people right there are saying thank you.
Don't need a souvenir that bad. The 0-2 with 2 on 1 out and a pop-up. This will reach the seats over there. Braves have been batting forever in the top of the 9th at Chicago, leading by 5 over the Cubs. Now it's in the bottom of the 9th. Cubs have scored 1 run, and it's 9-5. May have a final on that game with 2 outs in the 9th before we wrap it up here with 1 out in St. Louis. And Dave Hansen getting some good hacks. So if everything ends up the way it's setting up now, Cardinals will be 5.5 back of Houston. Cubs 6.5 with their 5th consecutive loss. In the wild card race, Cardinals alone in second, a game back of the Giants. Dodgers a game and a half back, Cubs 2 back, and there's out number 2 here in the 9th inning.
There's a battle, and this has been a lot of pitches thrown right here, but 2 strikeouts, 2 hits in between. There's a breaking ball right there, right over the top.
Here's longtime Met and Houston Astro Chris Donald. And
Barry Bonds has hit 3 home runs today.
Goodness gracious.
And
at Colorado.
Is that 3rd or 4th time this year he's had 3 or more?
That gives him 63, right?
Yeah.
High fly ball left field. This one is in the scorebook as an 8-1 Cardinal win. Took a while, but it was worth it. And the Redbirds take 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. They are 1 game out in the wild card race.